It is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. Let's begin before I start to fade away. So, do we start with oil? I guess we do. Okay, look, original target, which I've been babbling about last week, were the 77s. Today, we maxed out at 77.98. So we're the third month up, but I would note that monthly momentum ticked positive as of last Thursday, settled February positive, and is now, of course, increasingly positive, set to increase probably for some months to come. I would accept we are at resistance. This is the target I was looking for. So we did see a reaction today, cooling back from 77s to, if we go to the daily chart. Yeah, it looks like intraday we cooled to the 71s, but settled at 74s. And yeah, we're overbought 77s on a daily. But and it is a black candle on a weekly, much like there. I mean, this was target area, right? So we've got to first target. Weekly chop, weekly momentum has accelerated upwards in the last 2 days. There's no sign of a turn there. I would accept we're on the high end, but we could go up for a couple of weeks. I mean, don't be surprised if we see the 80s. I mean, look, 77.98. What's the next resistance level? 80, 84, 83, 84. We could see 83, 84 before the weekend. Above that, 87, 92. And we haven't seen 100, of course, since, let's go back to the monthly. We haven't seen $100 since, what's that there? July of 2022. Yeah, so that was just, of course, after the Russians moved into Ukraine in February of 22. Yeah, I think this is important. I mean, I talked about it last Friday. Nobody really cared. I was quite comfortable to eat long across the weekend, did well yesterday morning. Um, let's go to USO, which of course is how I'm trading it. We'll start with, I don't want to do the daily candle actually. I want to just go to the hourly. So look, Friday, bull flag, jump, black candle, cools back. This spike was spurious. I'm kind of not taking it seriously. You can even I could have actually I could draw a little bull flag on there, which played out again this morning. Look at that black candle. So I saw this in the morning. I'm thinking, okay, where can I buy back in? And of course, then it's actually spiked at 2 o'clock, 87.33, which is basically a full fill of the gap. So it basically lost all the gains of like, I think it was up 8% of the high. And then the closing hour candle did, I mean, you had a bounce from there and the 3 o'clock candle. It's not a bad candle. I would note that on an hourly chart, momentum has cooled back and threatens to turn negative tomorrow. That's a problem. But I mean, look, you can argue this is too big to be a bull flag, which I would agree with actually. Yeah, but still, if you go to a 15-minute chart, which is generally the way I focus during my day. So look, gap up, black candle, little chop, but as equities recovered, oil's basically trading inverse to equities. So every time equities ticked up, oil was prone to getting ground down, and then we had this. We tend to have these little weird, freaky washouts. I mean, that one didn't last, but this one did. We had a little bit of follow through there. Basically, again, fill in the gap, spiked. So the buyers piled in at 87 for USO. a little chop, a little breakout above a 10 MA in the final 15 minutes. Above it, yeah. So that's kind of that little, it's not much, but it's kind of interesting. Upper Bollinger on the 15-minute chart offers the 94s tomorrow morning. So 94 would be what? Four and a half. We could be at 4.5, 5%, just to get back to where we were there at 94s, which of course is oil 77s. On a momentum basis, you see, I watched this in the morning, watched it roll over, tick all the way down, and I thought there's a floor around 2 o'clock. Starts to tick up, and then bam, that bloody candle there, nasty. We did, after that little extra washout, we ticked up all the way to the coast. We even started to pick up a little bit of acceleration. So as of tomorrow morning, we could turn positive. Again, if we jump 4 or 5%, then yeah, that's going to turn positive, and then maybe we'll roll over again, 11 o'clock and cool back again. But yeah, I'm pretty heavy long oil, and I need 93s, 94s to merit an exit. So if I'm lucky tomorrow, we'll be somewhere at least north of 92. 92 would be okay. I could tolerate 92. That'd be a profit probably. But ideally, 93, 94s, 95s would be really good. I mean, what the short-term bulls want to see a high, right? So, we're still putting in higher lows and, well, there's the lows, of course, and then there's the higher highs. I would be mindful as ever. Say tomorrow morning we open up around, say, 93, 94. I would be very mindful if we have a black candle. And we could even maybe put in a short-term double top, maybe from 93, 94, 95, and then roll over again. But again, I'm trying to keep in mind, look, we have a war. People are grossly complacent about it, massively complacent. So I do see cooling waves as the default trade to be buying, even more than short equities. Anyway, enough of oil. So let's see what it does tomorrow. In theory, I think we have a good chance at you know, 3, 4, maybe 5% in the morning. And then if that's the case, I'm a seller at the open. If we're anywhere up here, ideally we're somewhere up here. But anyway, let's jump to gold. Commodity gold. Yesterday's black candle played out. Commodity gold was down $227. Incredible. 4.3%. Today's candle is bearish engulfing. We do have a lower high relative to that. Momentum turned negative on gold daily. If we look at gold on GLD, I'm wondering if what we're setting up is a gigantic bullish pennant like October, November. Clearly, if we are, right, we must hold that trend line. Otherwise, you're looking at 405 GLD, which is another 63 down, so that's $630 if that doesn't hold. But this was a nasty drop today. But it is a triangle. If it is, if the gold bugs are lucky, we'll come down to around here and we'll maybe, churn around for March and then break up. And off we go to 6, 7,000 in the summer. Looking at silver. To start with commodity silver. Commodity silver was down $7.05, 7.9%. Momentum will probably turn negative tomorrow. Let's jump to SLV. SLV does not have the bullish triangle that gold does. So SLV is indirectly suggestive that gold will not hold the bullish pennant line I was just babbling about. You see it held there like gold, but there isn't a triangle there. It, price action's far uglier. Look at these smackdowns. These are fierce. So according to this, SLV was down 8.4% on the day. It's terrible. So a second day down. Uh, and technically today's candle is a reversal candle, but I'm kind of dismissive of it. We have a breaker trend. We could easily be around 65, 64. That's $10 down. Now again, if the main market gets smashed across the next few days, which is possible, then yeah, we're going to see silver 65, and you could start to wonder, hey, maybe SLV comes down to $50, maybe a back test of the old high from October, November. Not so bullish, is it? Since I know one or two people have an interest in that gas, um, black candle leans bearish for tomorrow, but it is on the low end. I mean, often nat gas likes flooring around 3. Here's some perspective. I mean, ignoring that a little bit, but typically nat gas is on the low end. I mean, yeah, cyclically low. What else? Let's go to S&P on a daily. Yeah, we're being kind of random about this, right? So look, we have a big rounded top. Yesterday's had a bullish engulfing candle. Didn't play out. Straightforward gap down, spiral down, filled red gap, spiked. Reversal candles bullish, but you had a reversal candle there, which I guess you can say it initially played out or briefly played out. But this is not good. This is what, 1, 2, 3. This is the third day under the 50-day, the 10 MA. We're breaking lower lows, right? We took out that low. We've taken out the December low. What's next? Clearly, purple gap, 66.36. That's 180 points down, which is what, 2.7% or so. And I would note, again, I cannot emphasize this enough. 200-day, it's going to be in purple gap next week, or close to it. Close enough, anyway. Daily momentum is increasingly negative. This doesn't bode, this little candle, this little bar here, this doesn't bode good for the bulls. I mean, I accept we had a good bounce today, same as we did yesterday, but this is lower highs, lower lows. That's not bullish. So yeah, I think either we're gonna look. I would accept purple gap 200-day this week, maybe, but probably next week. If it doesn't happen this week, then I would look for it next week. What I don't see, I mean, come on, how could anyone think we're going to be trading above 7,002 anytime soon? This is just a real mess, and it is increasingly leaning bearish. This isn't bullish. I will post up a list. You can argue price action this year. It's kind of similar like last year. And then we broke down under the 10 MA, which we did a few weeks ago. And we're starting to print lower highs and lower lows. I would note in this case, when we did break, we had a bull flag lasting, spanning 4 weeks. Then the capitulation in early April. I would note the 38% fib, 61.74, which is the old high, well, roughly the old high in last February. So yeah, I think natural target would be here, which is clearly possible before the end of the month. That's possible. Yeah, absolutely bearish unless we break a new high, which I accept. Look, we're only We're not that far off, but what the bears want to see, they want to see is, clearly take out another low, 67.10, and break into the 66.30s. I would note on the monthly chart, which again people don't care about, but look, I mean it's all very minor chop, much like last year. If we take out the 10 on a monthly, 66.86. If we take out that, then we're looking at 6100s. Look at momentum. It's weakening. When it turns negative is when bad things happen, which was in this case April of last year when we had a real ugly. We had a break in March, and we had capitulation in early April. Very similar setup. This ain't bearish. I mean, it ain't bullish, right? But we're definitely leaning bearish into April. All right, what else do I want to cover? Don't really want to cover that much more. I mean, there's a few stocks, I guess. What's the real one I want to cover? NVDA, I guess. Actually, we'll do it in reverse order. Maybe we'll end with NVIDIA. I don't know. Tesla was down 2.7. Actually, you know what I should do? I should just flash through them all because this is for my own benefit more than anyone else, frankly. Let's just flash through them all quickly. We won't dawdle. Um, Nothing much with Apple. Apple does have an event on Wednesday. They're due to release a MacBook 5. That details were leaked on its own website today, which is kind of funny. Archer Aviation down 10% on earnings. I didn't even get around to checking earnings yet. Agnico Eagle, I think that was a black candle on Monday, down 7%. Momentum will probably turn negative on either Wednesday or Thursday. So this is pretty bearish for the miners. American Eagle, reversal candle, but look, it's a lower high, lower low. That's not bullish. First Majestic Silver, 10%. 10%. Momentum due to turn negative on probably not tomorrow, but on Thursday. Bearish. AMD, another key stock that's battling to hold the 200-day down almost 4%. If it doesn't hold that, then red gap's got to fill, and then 150. I think this is going to go to 150. Amazon, bouncing. Can't take that seriously. Barrack, bang, down 8%. Momentum will turn negative at the Wednesday open. Bearish to miners. Boeing, still leaning on the weaker side. Baba, what a shame. Bank of America, bouncing, but that's under the 200-day. Bearish to 42.41. I don't care about Bitmine. I should probably delete that chart. Caterpillar, leaning weak, 4%. I mean, that's a big old drop. Kamiko, 6%. Carnival, reversal candle, but it's under the 200-day. Cleveland Cliffs, bounce, actually still down 2.8. Coinbase, down 1.5. Deckers, down 4.1. That's not pretty. Disney, down 1. Gotta think Disney's got to fill all of its gap to 91. Yeah, Disney's got to 91. ET cooling back with oil. Endeavor Silver down 9.5%. Momentum will turn, yeah, look at it, it's fractionally positive. Momentum will turn negative at the Wednesday open. Bearish minus. Ford, ugly, down 5%. Set to test for 200-day within a day or two. Momentum turn negative actually on Monday. Freeport down 4%. It had a bounce, of course, but momentum is due to turn negative at the Wednesday open. A lot of stocks. Again, this matters. These are bearish warnings for Wednesday. Doesn't guarantee anything, but they do suggest that we're gonna have some downside tomorrow. Google down 1%. It's a reversal candle. Momentum remains marginally negative. Home Depot down 1%. It's a reversal candle, but we're breaking down. Heckler down almost 12%. Momentum has turned negative, bearish in the minors. Intel down 5%. Momentum remains negative. Joby 5%, but a lot of chop. JP Morgan, bullish engulfing candle up 0.9%, but I have to be bearish to 250. Yep, there's based on the monthly chart. KKR all over the place. It didn't print a lower high today, which was somewhat surprising. We have a reversal candle, fractional decline. The bold will be short it. I am not short, but I'm definitely bearish to around 61. Kinder Morgan, that's probably a new strike high. Don't care about Cree. MP Materials, Butter Chop, Microsoft, Micron down. Actually, Micron down 8% today. Wow. Momentum has accelerated to the downside. Huh. Oh. Netflix up 0.6. Nike down 2.7. I still think it looks like Nike's got to go to the April 51s. And NVDA down 1.3. So despite a bounce attempt, it did settle down 1.3. Today's candle is a reversal, which does lean bullish, but I cannot see the 200-day holding. If I'm correct, then 150 is natural target. Momentum is still increasingly negative. Bearish NVIDIA. Ondas cooling back. Occidental down 1%. Yesterday's black candle played out. Pan American Silver down 8%. Momentum will turn negative at the Wednesday open. Bearish miners. Palantir up 1.4. Bullish engulfing candle, but momentum's on the high. And you can just argue it's just burnt off oversold conditions. This is going to probably, it should roll over again. Maybe they're going to roll it over at the 50-day, which of course is coming down. Bearish to 100. I'm with Michael Berry on that. PayPal catching a bounce. Red Cat up 7.5%. Again, look at the volume here. Look at the volume. That's the two biggest days of volume since July. Momentum has turned positive. Looks like it actually happened yesterday. I would say it's short-term vulnerable with the main market, but absolutely long-term bullish. Drones. Don't care about rig. Rocket Lab down 1%. Kind of stuck. SMR down another 4%. Terrible. Target had earnings up 6.7%. Yesterday's reversal candle played out, as they often do. Tesla down 2.7, battling to hold for 200-day. I don't see it happening. Momentum turned negative today. Bearish. Bearish to red gap. Take two, don't care. I will say today's candle is a bit spiky from resistance. Bearish. United Airlines down 0.5%. We have another reversal candle from a 200-day. This stock does respect for 200-day. The only problem, of course, is if oil spikes, then the airlines will get crashed again with the natural target be what, 91 to 88. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. UPS down 1%. It's a reversal candle, but it's called from 120 to 110. What else? Exxon down 1.5%. Yesterday's black candle played out as they usually do. Momentum is on the lower end. We could easily have an up wave. All right, what do I want to end with? What's the last chart I want to finish with? I'll indulge myself and just end on USO on a 15-minute. So again, USO momentum floored just after what? I guess 2:30, ticking upwards, prone to turning positive. I mean, it could just jump, right? See, it just, there's a jump. It takes momentum a little bit of a time to catch up, but we could just jump early Wednesday. So yeah, I'm gonna vainly hope that we jump somewhere to 93, 94. So anything above 94 would be a bonus. But I would settle for 93s, 94s tomorrow. That would be useful. And then see what happens then. But I absolutely am bullish oil on the obvious premise of war, which people are grossly underplaying, not least if you listen to the mainstream media hacks, which I don't. But if you actually read around and listen to some of the smarter people out there, the situation is far more problematic than people want to admit. There's no reason to expect this to be over for a considerable time. Anyway, without going down that rabbit hole today, bullish oil. So let's kind of see what happens tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday evening, and we'll leave it there.